All right, sometimes when you follow guidance, sometimes you're giving guidance that you don't want to follow.
Oh,
One of those days. I had what I was going to talk about all just right there in front of me, and the inner voice said, this is what you're going to talk about. Okay, all right. Be aware. If you really focus on your spiritual path and study the Course in Miracles and learn how to get rid of all the blocks to hearing your inner guidance, then it's going to start talking to you. And it's going to say everything you don't want to hear. But all of it will make you happy, be good for you, bring you prosperity, abundance, peace, eternal life, and happiness. But besides that, it's not worth listening to. And then it's Easter, you know what I'm saying? And so you hear so much about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, and you forget that about the resurrection. You know, a lot of times when you're brought up in that religion, you're taught to feel so guilty about the crucifixion of the Son of God, and He died for you according to the Bible interpretation of it, that you forget the resurrection, which said, no, I didn't. So how much sense would it make for you to be making yourself feel guilty all the time about somebody you never killed? And never even had anything else to do, didn't have anything to do with it. So regardless of whether a person believes in the story or not, there's a lesson in it. Okay, so what I was told to talk about from the Course was a section called the Message of the Crucifixion. Now, how do you make that relevant to you? Anytime you're attacking yourself, hurting yourself, giving yourself any unhappiness and lack in any kind of way, that's crucifying yourself. So we're going to make this personal. Wherever you think you might be hurting yourself in any kind of way today, this lesson is for you.
What lesson are we on?
It's called The Message of the Crucifixion. And it's in chapter 6, section 1.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But I'm going to start with the introduction. Now, remember, you need not believe it. Remember, you need not believe the ideas. Oh yeah, another thing I'm going to do today is an experiment. I'm going to go extremely slow. Because that's where it says it should be read. And it's going to kick your butt. Right? It's either going to wake you up or it's going to put you to sleep. Okay? Either you're going to get a really nice nap, which is beautiful, or you hear something that may help undo every ounce of unhappiness that you have in any way. So it's a win-win. Either you'll get a good nap, or you'll hear something that'll help you. And in both cases, I'm okay with that. All right, so you don't have to try to strain yourself to stay conscious. Okay, it's much easier to be unconscious, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of the ideas will startle you. So try to let go of everything you think you know about the crucifixion, Bible, your childhood, what you learned about religion, what you learned about God, just for an hour. Try to let that go. I'm not going to try to spend an hour overcoming the beliefs you have that you got as a child. You haven't been able to do it, so how could I do it in an hour? You've been trying to do it for a lifetime. So how do we handle that? We just say those beliefs are there. Let's hear something else. See what happens. Because the Course is only talking about love or fear. It says you're not asked to judge the ideas at all. You're not asked to judge me at all. I'm not asked to judge you at all. And then it says, using it will give it meaning to you. That's the catch. Using it will give it meaning. And it says, not only that, it will show you that the ideas are true. So I like to see that these ideas are true. So the Course in Miracles is a course in right perception. It says a miracle is a right perception. It says if we have a right perception, it's a miracle. That's why it's called a Course in Miracles. Because if we see each other with total love and forgiveness and peace and no scripts, that's a miracle. That's a real miracle. So it says at the very beginning of this section that, and I'm going to do this in plain language, make it easier. It's obvious there's a relationship between getting mad and attacking. But the relationship between you being afraid and being angry is not so obvious. People see there's a connection between getting angry and attacking, but most people don't see the relationship between when you're angry, you're afraid. When you're angry, whatever you're mad about right now, you're afraid about. Whoever you're mad at right now, you're afraid of. Anger always involves the projection of separation, and feeling separate from you must be accepted as my own responsibility rather than being blamed on others. So if you feel separate from anybody, then it's your responsibility. You're feeling separate, and it's your responsibility for feeling separate instead of blaming others. You can't get angry. If you like to get rid of anger, what it says, well, you can't get angry unless you believe someone's attacked you. And because you believe someone has attacked you, you believe your attack is justified in return. You PO'd me, now I'm gonna get you. Right? Now, and not only is your anger and attack justified in return, he says you are in no way responsible for what happened. You're just the cutest little innocent thing in the world, and people always just messing with you, aren't they? You wouldn't hurt nobody for any reason whatsoever. He says these are three totally irrational premises. What are the three totally irrational premises? Number one, that anger always involves some projection of separation, which must be accepted as your responsibility. And anger can't happen unless you believe you have been attacked, and that is justified for you to attack in return, and you didn't have anything to do with it. The three totally irrational premises are somebody's done something to you. Now your response of anger is justified, and you had nothing to do with what happened. I have nothing to do with this at all. Now, he says, then the equally irrational conclusion that a person is worthy of attack rather than love is going to follow. If I believe if I believe that you attacked me, and I believe that it's justified for me to attack you, and I believe that I didn't have anything to do with it, then I feel perfectly justified in going off on you. Happy Easter. These are called insane premises. So what can be expected from an insane premise except what? An insane conclusion. Okay. Now, how do you undo an insane conclusion? Isn't that a worthwhile question? Notice I'm asking the questions that maybe you would ask. Well, how do I undo this insane conclusion? How do I undo all this anger that's coming from what? I believe you did something to me. I didn't have nothing to do with it, so I'm going off on you. He said those are totally insane premises. Then it goes on to say, well, the way to undo it is to consider the sanity of the premises on which the insane premise in the conclusion rests. In other words, here you're going to do. Okay, here I'm going to tell you something that's going to be hard to believe and quite startling.
Give it to us. Yeah.
You cannot be hurt.
Yeah.
You cannot be hurt. You cannot be attacked. Attack has no justification. You are responsible for what you believe. What's the insane premise? I've been attacked, and so my attack in return is justified. I had nothing to do with what happened, so I can go off on you. The same premises are: attack has no justification, you can't be attacked, and you are responsible for what you believe. Those three premises will remove all pain and anger from your life. Now, you've been asked to take me as a model. For learning. This is Jesus talking. Black Jesus. He says, you've been asked to take me as your model for learning since an extreme example is a particularly helpful learning device. Jesus said, I'm going to be an extreme example of attack. Okay? Take the nails out.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's a little bit getting upset more than the person taking your parking space, you know what I'm saying? He said, so an extreme teaching example is a helpful learning device. Everyone teaches and teaches all the time. That means you're teaching all the time. And this is a responsibility you inevitably assume the moment you accept any premise at all. As soon as you accept any idea, any belief, any premise, you start teaching it. You start demonstrating it. So everything you believe, you're demonstrating. Everything you believe, you're teaching. Everything you believe, you're demonstrating. You're demonstrating. Your behavior is a reflection of everything you believe. Your life is a reflection of everything you believe. Your relationships are reflections of everything you believe. Your bank account. I don't want to talk about that. Okay, let's go. I can talk about that, right? I know. Your financial situation has absolutely nothing to do with the economy.
Yeah.
Or your sex, or your race, or your education, or who you know, or who you have influence with at all. It's a reflection of your beliefs. I know sometimes people get mad when their bills come, but I don't understand. Were you at the cash register and somebody walked up with a gun and said, take your credit card out and buy that? There's not one bill I've ever had that I wasn't the one that created it. And then I turn around and get angry when the people want their money for what I got. And then I get a grievance about it. Don't you see the insanity of that? And it's not like you didn't get something for your money. They usually gave you some product or service. So what's the resentment about? Think about it. MasterCard haven't done nothing else. Visa's happy to see us. All of a sudden, when you begin to wake up, you begin to see that no one is upsetting you more than you. And you're doing it all the time. And you're saying someone else is to blame, and you had nothing to do with it, so you feel okay about getting upset with everybody all day about everything. And he says, you cannot be hurt. Your hurt has no justification. Your desire to attack has no justification because you're the one that's responsible for what you believe. So you're the one that's determining how you feel about things because you're the one that's creating your beliefs about what's happening. So you're the one that's making yourself feel the way that you feel. So nobody else is responsible for how you feel. So nobody's doing anything to you. So there's nobody to be upset with.
Well said.
So nobody can organize their life without some thought system. You can't organize your life, right, without some thought system. I'm seeing it happening. I'm seeing a few of them doing it.
Can you repeat that again, please?
You know what happens when you go to sleep? It just means you feel safe. Because if you was in a tiger's den, you wouldn't be going to sleep right now. Because you didn't feel safe. So that I'm honored that you feel safe enough around me to go to sleep. That's trust. So go to sleep, it's okay. It's okay. I just love you anyway. That's right. It's okay. Yeah. Because I love this stuff. With every sentence I read, I wake up more. Because I love the simplicity of the course, the reason of it, the logic of it. It just turns me on. It's my personal course agra. Gets me up. Eternally.
I like those.
You all are so naughty. This is a naughty group. I can tell. Please stick around. Once you have developed a thought system of any kind, you're going to live by your way of thinking, you're going to teach your way of thinking, and your capacity for allegiance to a thought system may be misplaced. You may be being loyal to a way of thinking that's not really helping you.
Yeah, sure.
But it's still a form of faith. Even if you got faith in thinking everything that makes you unhappy, it's still a form of faith. But your faith can be redirected.
Yes.
I can stop having faith that everything is going to go wrong, and I can change my faith to things will go completely beautifully.
Yes.
So notice I changed my faith. So the message of the crucifixion. This is deep. For learning purposes, let us consider the crucifixion again. I didn't dwell on the crucifixion before because of its fearful connotations. Let's face it, big guilt trips come out of the belief in the crucifixion. He says, you may associate a lot of fear with that idea. The only emphasis laid upon it so far has been the crucifixion isn't a form of punishment. The pain you're going through about, whatever you're going through it about, you're not being punished. Think about that. You might be hurting in some way right now. Stop thinking that it's punishment though. If you put your hand on a hot stove, it's not because the stove don't like you and it burns you. It's not going, I don't like you, so I'm gonna burn you when you put your hand in the flame. No, you just had misplaced thinking, right? You had wrong thinking, right? So stop thinking whatever is lacking in your life or what's ever making you unhappy in any way is the universe or anything else punishing you. Nothing is punishing you because you have any form of lack. Nothing is punishing you because you feel lonely. Nothing is punishing you because you don't like your job. Nothing is punishing you. And nothing can be explained in negative terms only. There's a positive interpretation of the pain that you're going through. There's a positive interpretation of the crucifixion that's totally devoid of fear. And there's an interpretation of what you're going through that's painful right now. There's an interpretation of the crucifixion that Jesus went through. There's a benign interpretation. There's a way to look at that benefits you. There's a way to look at whatever you're going through right now. There's a way to look at it that benefits you. Whatever you're going through right now, there's a way to look at it that benefits you. If it's properly understood. So the crucifixion or any kind of pain is nothing more than an extreme example. The value of the crucifixion, like the value of any teaching device, lies solely in the kind of teaching and learning the device facilitates. My body is no more valuable than how well it fulfills its function, which is to help me remember God and the truth. But as a matter of fact, that's why you have a body, is to remember the truth. So, this is only because, now it can be misunderstood, though. The teaching device can be misunderstood, this lesson can be misunderstood, the crucifixion, your pain right now can be misunderstood. So let's go back. Any pain you're going through about anything right now could be you could be given a way to look at it that benefits you if you use it correctly. And whatever you're going through right now, any level that makes you unhappy, it is not the universe, God, or anybody else punishing you. It's not punishment. That's good news. It says this is only because when you are fearful, you're apt to perceive fearfully. So a person that's afraid perceives fearfully. So I've already told you that you can always call on me. You can always call on your invisible help. You can always call on your invisible help to share your decision. You can always call on me personally. So not 2 o'clock in the morning. You can always call on me to share my decision and thus make it stronger. So what does that mean? It means that I've made the decision that you deserve only love. Why don't you share that decision that you deserve only love so that we can make that decision stronger? Every time I join you on any idea you have, it makes it stronger. So if you've got an idea of experiencing more love in your life, and you and I join on that idea, we just made that idea stronger. Everything is a reflection of an idea, so I need to make my idea strong enough to manifest. And the easiest way to make an idea strong enough to manifest is for a whole lot of people to share that idea. So when there's something you want to manifest in your life, then you need to join with someone else that will share that idea with you. A decision made in isolation doesn't have any real power. A decision made through joining always does. That's why people don't tend to manifest the things they want. They are making decisions alone. And they're getting no joining on it. The reason why the idea of sin and guilt is so powerful in our society is because that idea is being shared every day through the media, through conversation. So the idea of innocence, sinlessness, and guiltlessness, that's not exactly what I hear on the 5:30 news. So that idea is not getting as much sharing and so that much power. So that's why you don't see it in the world. We are seeing the reflection of the ideas that are shared the most. That's the world we're living in. The world of the ideas that are mostly shared. That's what you're looking at on the TV. And you and I are not changing anything by also having the same ideas that they have. It takes guts. It takes courage. And so it says here, I've also told you that the crucifixion was the last useless journey that you need to take, and that the crucifixion represents release from fear to anybody who understands it. So the thing that you're going through right now that makes you feel fear and hurt, it actually can represent the release from your fear if you understand it. That's funny. The thing that you're most afraid of could be the thing that frees you from fear. While I emphasized only the resurrection before, the purpose of the crucifixion and how the crucifixion led to the resurrection wasn't clarified then. Nevertheless, the crucifixion has a definite contribution to make to your own life. Whatever the pain is you think you're going through right now has a definite contribution to make to your own life. Whatever you think you're going through that's upsetting you right now has a definite contribution to make to your own life. And if you will consider whatever it is you think is hurting you right now, crucifying you right now without fear, if you will consider the crucifixion of Jesus also without fear, it will help you understand your own role. Your role as a teacher. Your role is to be a demonstrator. I only teach teachers. So everybody that comes to my classes, whether they realize it or not, are teachers of God. They're teachers of love. That's what you really are. You're here to demonstrate the truth. It's very depressing to think of yourself as being here to be a demonstrator of happiness when you're the most miserable person around. Makes it kind of hard. It's not exactly inspirational to think you're supposed to be the symbol of joy and you're one step away from suicide. So the first job is you can't give somebody something you don't have. So allowing yourself to be happy should be your first priority before you can be the means for anybody else's happiness. So there's no such thing as a miserable, unhappy person being able to bring somebody else joy. Unless it's the part of them that's capable of bringing joy, but they don't even know they got it themselves. When other people are around you and they seem to be happy to be around you, but you feel depressed most of the time, it means there must be some part of you that's capable of producing joy, but you're not letting it make you happy, but it seems to be making everybody else pretty happy. Think about that for a second. If people seem like they're joyful around you and they enjoy being around you, but you're most of the time unhappy, then there must be something in you that's capable of being seen in a way that brings happiness, but you're not letting yourself tap into that part of you so that you can be happy. It's obvious it's there because other people seem like they enjoy being around you even when you don't understand why. So you have probably reacted for years as if you were being crucified. You probably reacted for years as if somebody's doing something to you. He says this is a marked tendency of those who think they're separate. Don't we think we're separate? Look around the room. Those who think they're separate have a tendency to react as if somebody's always doing something to them. He says this is a marked tendency of the separated. Who are the separated? Those who always refuse to consider what they've done to themselves. So the Course in Miracles definition of being separate is, I'm a person who refuses to consider what I'm doing to myself. Hello, I'm Earl. I'm a person who refuses to consider what I'm doing to myself. Hey, I'm Earl. I'm a person who always refuses to really take a good look at what I'm doing to myself. Hey, I'm Earl. I'm a person that always refuses to take a look at how I'm the one that's creating what's happening to me, and I blame everybody else. Hey, I'm separated. I refuse to take any responsibility for anything that's going on in my life, and I blame everybody else for it. Hi, I'm one of the separated. The separated have a tendency to do that. This is some deep shit. Okay, now, projection means anger. Anger makes you want to attack, and then attack makes you afraid. Projection means anger. Anger fosters assault, and assault promotes fear. So the real meaning of the crucifixion lies in the apparent intensity of the assault of some of the children of God upon another child of God. But really, attacking another child of God is impossible and must be fully understood as it's impossible to attack a child of God. A child of God is not possible to attack a child of love. It's not possible to really hurt a spiritual being. It's not possible to hurt a spiritual being. It's not possible to hurt a spiritual being, but it's possible to hurt the body. But it's not possible to hurt the spirit, a spiritual being, but it's possible to hurt a body, but it's not possible to hurt a spiritual being. So your true identity cannot be attacked. It says unless you begin to accept that there's a part of you that's totally spiritual and cannot be attacked, then Jesus cannot be used as a model for learning, and nobody who really expresses the truth can you use them as a teacher. You cannot really use anybody that's really teaching the truth as a teacher as long as you believe you're just a body that can be hurt, that's separate, that's experiencing things that you are not responsible for, that someone else is doing to you. If you're that kind of a person, you cannot really allow yourself to be taught by someone of higher consciousness truly, because your basic premise about who you are is incorrect. So as long as you think you're just a human being body that was dropped here because somebody had sex and you grew up and you had to make it and people did stuff to you, you won't be able to hear higher teachings and use it. That premise will not allow you to be taught. And then it'll look like you're always trying to wake up and be happy and you're never successful. You think you tried a lot of books and a lot of things. That's because your basic premise is wrong. You lost sight of the fact that you are a child of God, that you are an innocent being, that you are spirit. And now you think you're this man or woman body that's walking around praying they can find somebody. So he says, otherwise I can't serve as a model for learning. Now I'm going to read something that's going to blow your friggin' mind if you hear it at all. Now if you don't hear it, it probably is good for you. Okay, some of y'all don't need to hear this. And so when I say it, you won't hear it. You're going to watch my lips move. You're going to hear sound come out of my mouth, but you're not going to hear what I said. Watch. It's going to be the most incredible thing. If anybody's ever tried to read the Course, they know what I'm saying is true. You'll read it and you go, what the hell did I just read? It looks like English, but I don't know what I just read. It didn't mean anything to me whatsoever, but it's English words. Anybody want to raise their hand and say amen? And that's why most people put the book down. It's like, I know it's not German, but I don't know what it just says. So I'm going to do one of these. This is going to be so opposite to what we usually believe that your mind will not accept it nor hear it. Okay, here we go. Assault or attack can ultimately be made only on the body. So the only thing that can be attacked is the body. The only thing that can be hurt is the body. The only thing that can be attacked is the body. The only thing that can be hurt is the body. The only thing that can be hurt about you is your body. The only thing that can be hurt about you is your body. The only thing, no one can hurt you emotionally. No one can hurt you emotionally. Do you know why? Because you're the one that's giving what they say all the meaning that it has for you. So if your feelings are hurt, it's because you hurt your feelings by the meaning that you gave to them. If someone was to call me the N-word right now, how I would react to it would be based on the meaning that I gave to it, not the word that they used. So that means that when I'm hurt emotionally and no one's physically hurt me, then I was the one who hurt myself and they didn't. If you don't hit me physically, you all can't hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That was the truth. I heard that a lot as a child, and that is exactly the truth. It's never words are hurting you. It's the meaning you give the words. So if I don't come up and hit you physically, but you're saying I hurt you, that's a lie. I cannot hurt someone I did not physically touch, because they are the ones that's giving what I say all the meaning that it has. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm saying is very true, but it won't mean anything to you yet because it hasn't been integrated into your mind enough to affect you emotionally and the way that you're going to respond to life. So hearing the truth is not the same as realizing it. And that's another mistake the truth students make. They think coming to a class like you're doing right now somehow means you change when you walk out of the door. But, you know, you can go to the store and you can get an aspirin, but nothing's going to happen until you take it. So I can share all kinds of ideas from this book, but if you don't take them and use them, nothing's going to change. Your ego's going to say, well, that class doesn't work. But that's just like me not taking the aspirin and saying it doesn't work. I got the remedy, I just don't love myself enough to take it. Okay, let's get straight about that. So the Course says it's not because anything that it tells us is difficult, the reason why we don't do it. He says the reason why we don't practice the truth and learn the truth is we don't think we're worth the effort. When I first read that, I went, that's deep, but it's so true. I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think I'm worth the time it takes to study this so that I can have everything I've ever wanted in my heart. I'd rather work a job I hate every day. I'd rather be in a relationship that's horrible. I'd rather be broke. I'd rather worry about how I'm going to make money all day long than spend 10 minutes that would give me an opportunity to remove every block that would allow the universe to provide for me bountifully all the time. That's why I'm not going to hang out with somebody that doesn't remind me that I'm valuable. It just doesn't make sense to me anymore. What's the point? Because if I'm not doing what's good for me because I don't think I'm valuable, then I'm hanging out with somebody else that don't think they're valuable, and we never even remind each other that we're valuable. I'm just using you to make things worse for me, and I just want you to be special to me. That means I only want you to hurt me, nobody else. It's called being faithful to one person. But then you can be faithful to one person and you can be reminding each other of your value. And it's a beautiful experience. I'm going to pass this around. If you dare, this is my contact list. I'm on the person that I talk stuff that's so deep when I pass my contact list around, people scratch their names all over. If I already had it, then that's just not necessary. Are you with me so far, gang?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did I say was the only thing that could ultimately be attacked?
Your body.
Body. How many of you all have had a great interest in the bodies of other people? Okay. That's like falling in love with the car jack instead of realizing that you got the jack so that you can get the tire fixed so the car can move. The purpose of the body shouldn't be the goal. The body should be the means. But I used to make the body the goal. I want the body. You ever wanted a body?
Yeah.
You ever wanted somebody to want yours? That just shows you how little you love them. Why? I want to give you the thing I feel guilty about the most. I want to give you the thing that I think something is wrong with, that I don't always see as being beautiful and innocent and whole. I want to give you the thing that I criticize and I say doesn't even look good or doesn't serve enough purpose. Something that I criticize. I want to give you the thing I'm least satisfied with in my perception of myself. I love you so much. And if somebody don't want it, then you get insulted. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want it. I'm gonna throw my body away. You want it this Saturday night? Especially as you get older, you judge the hell out your body as you get older. It's a trip. Anybody getting older willing to vouch for that? You see every little wrinkle that look like the Grand Canyon. You be like, oh my God! My bait! My bait is fading! Nobody's gonna want my bait anymore. That old bait, it ain't what it used to be. It ain't what it used to be. My black bait, it ain't what it used to be. Many long years ago. The chorus starts at the dirge of sorrow. They talks about, he said, you all are singing a song. We're going to call it the dirge of sorrow. Oh, poor me. So, isn't slow chorus deadly? Yes. I know. There is little doubt that one body can assault or attack another body, or even can destroy it, right? It's no doubt. It's out in Brussels. It looks like one body can destroy another body. But since you are a spiritual being and who you really are can never be destroyed, so that means if destruction itself is impossible, it's impossible for you to be destroyed in your true nature. Your true nature can never be destroyed. Just be with that for a minute. What's not you can be destroyed. What is you cannot. So that means if destruction is impossible, anything that is destructible cannot be real. Be with that one for just about 10 seconds. You hear what I said. If you can destroy it, it was never real in the first place. If that relationship can be destroyed, you never had one. That's right. Or anything. Anything that can be destroyed is not ultimately real. What's real can never be destroyed. So how do you wake up from the sleep that we're in that makes us unhappy? Don't you know that you would have to begin to entertain the idea that you might be wrong about what you think you are? I didn't say you had to believe that you were not a body. I said that you should start entertaining the idea that you might not be something that's destructible. You need to start entertaining the idea that you might not be what you think you are. And one of the reasons why you know that must be true is because you're not happy. You can't be your natural self and be unhappy. It's impossible. It's impossible to be true and authentic and be miserable. It's impossible. So the biggest crime you might be committing right now is just not being yourself. But I need approval. I need everybody to say it's okay what I'm trying to do or be or think. I need a lot of people to say it's okay. You'll never be free as long as you care what people think. You'll never be free as long as you care what people think. Matter of fact, let's take the pressure off of you. They're not thinking about you. You thinking about you. Nobody around you is as obsessed with you as you are. Nobody. I hate to break it to you. Even the people who say you're the most important thing in their life, they might give you 10 minutes out of an hour. If you're lucky and you've done something right. Okay, so nobody's thinking about you. No. No, they're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about, if they're fear-based. If they're fear-based, they're never thinking about you. They're thinking about what they want and how well you fit into it. That's your role. See, I'm thinking about, I want to go to the movie. Then it'd be like, well, who do I want to go with? See, I'm thinking about them only in terms of my desire. So people who are fear-based, they're never thinking about what's going to be good for you. They're thinking about how you're going to please them, because there's a hole in them that they want you to fill, because they don't feel complete. Your job is to shovel. So go on Tinder and ask for the next shovel. That's my spiritual name, I'm the shovel. I'll fill your hole up. I'm talking about the higher hole. That's in chapter 7. See, I'm just saying words, you're giving them meaning. See what's happening? Right. And then the projection would go, well, Earl was talking about blah, 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 blah. That's the way it works. See, that's the way it works. Right? So I'm going to tell you again, whatever's hurting you or you think is hurting you right now could be used in a beneficial way. If you really want to be taught by more intelligent, higher beings, you have to entertain the idea that what you are may not be what you think you are, and that you are just like them, a spiritual being, a non-physical being inhabiting a physical body, who's forgotten that so that they can have this experience believing that it's real. So you have to forget who you really are to be totally immersed in this. Because, and then how you do that? Well, you forget who you are by seeing yourself as separate, and then it said, well, someone who is separate is someone who refuses to consider what they're doing to themselves. So as long as a person sees themselves as a victim, that's how long they want to continue to go through pain that looks like it's being caused by someone else so that they can maintain their separation. Because they don't love themselves and they believe they deserve to go through pain and punishment, which awakening would get rid of. So a person who thinks they're guilty and sinful and think they don't deserve to be happy have to continue to think they're just a limited creature who's a victim of everything, to have the crucifixion and the punishment they think they deserve. And they will fight you if you try to make them wake up before they're ready. They'll call you crazy. There are people who listen to me and say, that dude is crazy. Because they still want to suffer. So then it goes on to say that if destruction itself is impossible, anything that is destructible cannot be real, so its destruction does not justify anger. The destruction of something that can be destroyed shouldn't make you mad because you know it could be destroyed in the first place. It's almost like a person that's driving a car that gets upset because it needs maintenance. You know it's a car. You know it wears out. You know it has parts that need replacing because it's not indestructible. And since it's not indestructible, you shouldn't get upset when something about it seems to break down. So getting angry because something goes on with your car or any mechanical electrical device is a sign of insanity. Because you're acting like it's supposed to be eternal car. Eternal TV, eternal clothes, eternal body. The body is destructible, and you'll surely get to the point one day that you won't get upset about one being destroyed, but you will not destroy one. You would never want to destroy a body, but you'll stop getting upset about it. You never want to hurt another's body, but you never get upset about it because you know the person is indestructible and who they really are can never die. And you will know that because you know that about yourself. And so you know if it's true for you, it's true for everybody else because you wouldn't have any qualities that everybody else didn't also have. Because the Creator creates equally and fairly. So then as my body appears to age, I wouldn't be freaking out about it because it's the body that's aging and not me. And that's exactly what's happening. My body is aging, but not me. I feel exactly the way I did when I was 10 years old. I just have more life experience, and you do too. You know your essential self sitting there in that chair is no different than the one that was running around in the yard as a kid. It's your bodies that have changed and your experiences that you're remembering since you got here. That's what you're calling your identity. Your identity is just a bunch of memories based on things that were fearful and separate and untrue. And that's the crucifixion. Forgetting who you really are. And the resurrection is getting a spiritual path so that you can remember who you really are, so that you can start to be the creator you are and have the kind of bliss and happiness and watch the universe take care of you in ways beyond your wildest imagination. That's what's going to happen during your resurrection. That you acknowledge yourself for hearing this much with me, Holy Spirit. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Woo. Woo. Was that deep? That was like 3-4 paragraphs of the course. That was 3 paragraphs. I read this book at least 150 times, from cover to cover. And every time I've done it, my life has gotten easier. More and more loving people have come into it. I've had a lot more freedom. And every time I go through a problem, I feel it completely and watch it disappear by doing what the book says do. Don't mean I don't go through stuff. It just means that I know how to handle it. And it's the tough part about the course is it's asking me to do less than I think I need to do. And that's the hardest thing about it, is that it treats me like I deserve to be happy now. There's a line in the course where he says, he said, you don't deserve future happiness. I went, what? He said, no, you don't deserve future happiness. You know, when you say your happiness is going to be in the future, he says you're just putting it off. And in the meantime, you got to suffer. You get there. If I say my happiness is going to come after I do this and after I do that and after I have this and after, he says all you're doing is creating an interval between you and what you want. And he says, and in that interval, that's where your pain shows up. Because you've already put your happiness in the future. So you deserve happiness now. And it says that if you're doing what should be done to give you happiness now, why wouldn't you have it now? Now, he says stuff like that. Well, what? That makes sense. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? So we're saying something that makes sense. You know, if I'm putting the key in my car to crank it up now, I expect it to start now. I don't turn my key and say next week my car will crank up. So if you're doing what you should be doing to have what you want right now, the course says, well, you have it now. Yeah. So if that's not the case, just admit everything about the way you're looking at it and doing it is wrong. So you can have it now. But no, I want to be right. Right about what? Somebody's attacking me. My getting upset is justified in return, and I didn't have anything to do with it. So I feel justified in being mad at everybody. He says those 3 irrational premises are the cause of every form of crucifixion that you go through. The other one is forgetting that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you've forgotten who you really are, and that's the real cause of your pain. The chicken trying to eat a steak is going to strangle. Why? Because, you know, he thinks he's a cow, or he thinks he's an animal. In other words, all pain comes from not knowing who you are. All pain comes from not knowing who you really are, not because you're bad.
Yes.
And please give me some money. You know how hard it is to say that. Could you imagine living off of asking people to share with you? Just think about that for a minute. You go to work every week. They give you a check at the end of the week. Suppose you had to go around asking everybody in your department, give me some money. I trust. I trust. I live by trust. I've lived by trust for 29 years. Everything changes but God. Everybody changes but God. The one thing that's been consistent is God. Thank you for being channels. Thank you for giving to yourself, because you can never lose by giving. You can never lose by giving. That's a guarantee that you're going to receive. Anybody that knows the truth knows that they're never losing by sharing. Only people who think they are poor don't share because they think they're just like the person that they see as being poor. Does that make sense? If I think I'm poor, I'll say I don't have anything to give you. So I'm actually equating myself with the poverty I see. And there are many ways to give other than money. So I'm not just talking about money. But the Course in Miracles says that the reason why we're in the world is because we've forgotten how to share. And I'm not just talking about money. We've totally forgotten how to share. He says we know how to bargain.
Yes, I am.
Since we're really good at bargaining, I'll give you this if you give me that. I'll treat you this way if you treat me that way. I'll be kind to you if you're kind to me. I'll feed you if you. Yeah, everything is. He said all we do is bargain. That we don't have the slightest idea of what love is. We just bargain with each other, and our grievances are based on people not keeping the bargains. That's what all grievances are. I have a script for you. You have a script for me. And you didn't do it, and I didn't do it, and now we're mad at each other. Now we're trying to go to a class to forgive each other for not being able to control each other and bargain with each other. It wasn't real in the first place. It's never a sacrifice to give to somebody you love. It's never a sacrifice to give to somebody. It's a hell of a sacrifice to give to somebody you fear. So this book makes me mad sometimes because I cannot comfortably stay in denial like I'm used to. I make myself feel good because I tell myself I'm a nice person. And so my nice self is the one I use to try to make me feel good, And so I have a face of innocence, and my face of innocence is always the face of the person that's being acted upon, that people are doing things to, and I really, I wouldn't have shot you if you had to mess with me first. I got the face of innocence. And then the Course says, underneath that is the face that's completely angry, that's saying, you're doing it to me. You're all doing it to me. He says, we hide that one though, beneath the face of, I love you all, some bitches. Okay. But you're so cute, I just love you. I just love you. And you've done it before, saying something nice to somebody while in your mind you were saying something completely opposite. Right, that's what he said, beneath that face of, hi. I hope I never run into him again. That's the one he says, the voice behind what you're saying is the voice that's teaching you. The voice behind what you're saying is the voice that's really affecting your consciousness. Not what you're necessarily saying, but what you're saying to yourself about what you're saying. Those are the thoughts that are impacting you. So if I say I love you, Chris, and then in my mind I'm going, I can't stand Chris. Well, I can't stand Chris is the thought that's affecting my consciousness. Not, hey Chris, I like you, man. It's what you're telling yourself behind. And so once you realize that, then you know that it doesn't matter what you say to people, because they're only giving it the meaning that they're going to give it anyway, so they're never hearing it the way you mean it. So you say what you want to hear, not what somebody else wants to hear. Because they're going to hear what they want to hear, no matter what you say. You'll never say something so clearly that someone won't be giving it their own meaning. No matter what you say. If I tell you I love you, you're going to look at that totally the way you interpret love. So there'll be 30-something different interpretations of what I just said when I said I love you. That's happening all day, every day. Nobody's hearing you the way you mean it. So You need to start saying the stuff that you want to impact you. That's why I do this. All right. So, I'm going to end this on the 3 totally cool premises.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say it again. You stop getting upset about things that are destructible being destroyed. Stop getting upset about things that are temporary, leaving, or maybe needing to be fixed. Don't get upset with creditors about bills you made. If you're going through pain right now, nothing's punishing you. God isn't punishing you. It's just that you're misapplying some laws. That's all. You're innocent. You're innocent. Innocent, you are innocent, 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 you are innocent. Now, I shared with you earlier that it is your thoughts that create your reality. It is your thoughts that create your reality. Now, if you really believe that at any level, then you take advantage of the opportunity to say something different right now. If you really believe that to any degree, you would see this as an opportunity to give yourself new thoughts right now. You are innocent, innocent, innocent. I am innocent, innocent, innocent. I am innocent, innocent. The Course in Miracles teaches that the most important thought that anyone can ever focus on and accept is their innocence, sinlessness, and guiltless. It's your innocence and sinlessness and guiltlessness. Guiltlessness. So anyone that wants to impact their mind and begin to give themselves a brand new way, say, I am innocent, innocent, innocent. I am innocent, innocent, innocent. I am innocent, innocent, innocent. We are innocent, innocent, innocent. We are innocent, innocent, innocent. We are innocent. We are innocent. We are innocent. We are innocent. You are innocent. You are innocent. You are innocent. You are innocent. I am spirit. 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 I am. What about we? We are spirit. We are spirit. We are spirit. And listen to this now. I am not a body. I am free. 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 We are not a body. We are free. We are not a body. We are free. We bless the world because we bless ourselves. We bless the world because we bless ourselves. We bless the world because we bless ourselves. We bless the world because we bless ourselves, and we are entitled to miracles. 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 Happy resurrection, you juicy beings. Tuesday night, Way of Mastery, 7 o'clock. I invite you to have a spiritual practice and start doing the easy way.
Yeah.
Even though your old self at first is going to battle your butt every inch of the way. Because there's a part of you that believes in struggle. And that part doesn't go down without a struggle. That's why it's called struggle. all right? And I say you deserve more. So, I love you. Thank you.
Thank you.